Thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction. Again, welcome to the Isaac School District. Today, we are excited to share with you a little bit about our district. Again, I'm Tanya Whiteford, Human Resources Coordinator here in the district. And today, I also have Ms. Lisa Garcia joining us from our Student Services Department. A little bit about our district. We are a K-8 school district located just west of downtown, and we're dedicated to student success. We have 7 K-5 schools, 2 middle schools, 1 K-8 school, and 1 preschool. We service approximately 6,500 students across our 11 schools. You can see a little map of our district, and you'll notice we're approximately 6.5 mile radius, or excuse me, a 6.8 mile radius school district, and you can get a little bit of a snapshot of what our district looks like from an aerial view. Here's a map of Phoenix. So you'll see the star, and it shows you right there that that's where our district is located. And you'll also see that we're just west of downtown, relatively close to various hotspots in Phoenix, such as Cardinal Stadium and Diamondback Stadium for all of you sports enthusiasts. We also have various hiking preserves that are relatively close to the area, along with other downtown areas such as downtown Tempe, downtown Scottsdale, downtown Phoenix, that individuals who relocate or are already residing in Phoenix like to hang out. You can also see that we're not that far from various other locations out of the state that individuals like to travel to, such as San Diego. We're about a 4-hour drive. Las Vegas, we are just a 4-hour car ride to there, and about 2 hours from Mexico. For all of you who wonder if we get snow in the desert, while we don't get snow in Phoenix, we do get snow just 2 hours away up in northern Arizona where it's Flagstaff. We also have some southern parts of Arizona that individuals like to go to, such as Tucson, which is about an 1.5-hour drive as well. So you can see again where that star is located. That's our district office, and our schools surround that star, and we are located off of various freeways that make it easily accessible for individuals to get to as they commute into our schools. What makes us unique? We are the 5th oldest school district in the state, and I share that because it has built a strong sense of community and involvement by those that reside within our district. We have a lot of multi-generational families that reside here and have family members who have gone to their schools, and then their children and grandchildren go to our schools as well. We are a Title I school district, which for us means that 100% of our students are on free or reduced lunch, and we are a predominantly Hispanic school district as well. What do we offer our teachers? We have a average starting salary of $54,225. We provide an additional opportunity to earn up to $3,200 in performance pay, and that's pendant on tax money that comes in from our state, so that number does fluctuate, but that's about the average that we typically can offer year to year. We also offer hard-to-fill position stipends, and again, depending on the position that you're applying for, that may be something that you qualify for. We offer school-level supports for our teachers, academic coaches that reside at each campus, along with social workers, counselors. Our site leadership acts as instructional leaders, so that would be your assistant principals and your principals. They are all skilled in that area to provide that additional layer as well. And at the district level, we have strategists that are specific in their grade level bands and content areas that also come to our schools to provide professional development and support as well to our teachers, especially as they're transitioning to their schools and to their new classrooms. We do provide curriculum in reading, math, and science that have been adopted. We offer weekly half days for our professional development. We have a competitive benefits package, and most importantly, you do have site mentorship from those who have been identified as master teachers to support you as well. Whether you're new to teaching or maybe you're already a teacher and you're just needing some support with a transition to a new district. Speaking myself, being at a couple of different districts, that transitional support has always been a big help, even if I am familiar with teaching, to just know the ins and outs of the school along with getting to know the programs that the district offers. Now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Lisa Garcia, who's going to tell you a little bit more about our Student Services Department and our special ed programs that we have. And this will explain how those programs help not only those that are classroom teachers, but then also those who might be interested in one of those positions in student services.
Hi. I'd like to start off by speaking a little bit as to the areas that our Student Services Department encompass. As you'll see listed are the roles in our schools that fall under the umbrella of the Student Services Department. We have special education programs and teachers at every school site. In addition, one thing that makes our district unique is that we have a school psychologist, a speech and language pathologist, a nurse, and a counselor at every single school site. We also have social workers and PBIS specialists at the majority of the schools who provide additional supports to our teachers in the area of social, emotional, and behavioral needs, as well as providing support to our families. We also have a variety of specific programs that meet the array of needs of our students with disabilities in the district. Our Brett Harbor Preschool is an award-winning preschool, and it provides intervention services for students and children with special needs ages 3 through 5 using developmentally appropriate curriculum through a variety of service platforms. The Resource Program, which is at all the elementary and middle school sites, provides academic support for children with a specific category of eligibility that impacts their ability to learn. Supplemental instruction focuses on target IEP goals and objectives, which could include academic support as well as behavior and study or organizational techniques. Both pullout and inclusion or co-teaching structures exist, depending on which best meets the needs of the students. We also have 3 levels of autism self-contained classrooms for students with autism or autism-like characteristics who require a more structured environment. Instruction includes a variety of research-based techniques such as structured teach, applied behavior analysis, sensory integration, and picture exchange communication systems. Cross-categorical cognitive self-contained classrooms are for students who are functioning 3 or more grade levels below their peers, both in cognitive and adaptive skills. The focus of these rooms is to provide targeted academic and adaptive instruction to build students' abilities to function as independently as possible. The Life Skills class is a middle school self-contained classroom which provides instruction in functional skills, life skills, and pre-vocational or community-based skills. The Multiple Disabilities classes serve students with both physical disabilities and cognitive impairments. Many have medical needs as well as sensory and functional needs. The focus is on adaptive living skills, sensory integration, pre-academics, and fine and gross motor development. And finally, our cross-categorical behavior program is designed for students who have emotional or behavioral disabilities and needs that adversely affect their ability to perform in a general education setting. This classroom also is highly structured and utilizes the Boys Town model to teach students positive decision-making and social skills. So as you see, we have a variety of programs that we offer our students to meet the variety of needs that they have. And in all our self-contained programs, students also, I really want to make sure that you know that they have multiple opportunities to mainstream in the general education classrooms with typical peers. And the teachers engage in ongoing collaboration with general education teachers to ensure that students are mainstreamed successfully and to the best of their ability. We also have personnel at a variety of levels that support the members of our Student Services Department. The Director of Student Services provides support with programming, staffing, and creating systems, procedures, and protocols which enhance efficiency and help us maintain our compliance with state and federal guidelines. We also have the Special Education Instructional Specialist who provides instructional support, ongoing professional development, coaching, and resources to teachers. The Compliance Coordinator supports staff with compliance with IEPs and evaluations, as well as providing professional development and one-to-one feedback and support to new teachers and returning teachers as well in all things that are related to paperwork and compliance. The social emotional specialist provides training, coaching, and support related to classroom management, social skills instruction, and behavior intervention plans. The prevention coordinator supervises and supports nurses and counselors, as well as serves as the McKinney-Vento or homeless liaison and the 504 coordinator. The special education leads are role-specific leads. So there's a lead for teachers, there's a lead for speech language pathologists, for counselors, for nurses, etc. They provide information specific to that lead, to that role, and support to individuals within that role. Then we also have the site leads, who are the on-site liaisons to the Student Services Department members at each of the school sites. They provide support with compliance, information as far as district and state initiatives, and are there to answer any questions or support with any concerns that staff may have at the site. Each new staff member also receives a mentor who's in a similar role or classroom setting and provides ongoing one-on-one support. In addition, many of our teachers, service providers, and school psychologists have mentored university students doing their practicum, student teaching, and internship experiences, many of whom have then gone on to become one of our Isaac Student Services team members. In addition to personnel, our Student Services Department in the Isaac School District provides a variety of ongoing training, which is tailored to the unique needs of each role. Professional development sessions are provided not only during new teacher orientation, which takes place during the week prior to when teachers return, but also throughout the year within the new teacher induction program. And it ranges from topics of special education curriculum, best practices, district procedures, IEP management, and compliance. We also have early release Thursdays every Thursday, and some of those Thursdays are dedicated for professional development specific to special education instructional practices. Also quarterly, the Student Services Department as a whole is brought together for departmental professional development, including celebrations, acknowledgement of staff members, updates, and breakout sessions specific to roles and needs. Academic coaches are at every school site. They serve to support the instructional needs both of general education teachers as well as special education teachers and provide collaboration, coaching, resources, as well as support in best practices. We also have a variety of webinars that have been created within the department that are specific to different areas such as curriculum implementation, classroom management, federal and state compliance, and those have been developed and are made available to all staff as well. This is a list of the variety of curricula and programs that are utilized within the Student Services Department, and all our programs are research-based programs and known to be effective in supporting students and helping students be successful. The programs are specific to the needs of the students in the classroom, and our view of curriculum and programs is that they're to be used as a resource as best meets the needs of the individual students. Our focus is always on what is best to meet the needs of the kids and how can we best help our kids to be successful. To that end, we provide training and ongoing support relative to utilization of curriculum specific to students' needs so that you would not only have the resources that you need, but also the knowledge as to how to use them to best provide for your students' success. In the Isaac School District, we always believe that collaboration is the key to student success. All staff members who provide services to students, both gen ed and special ed, work together to collaborate on planning as well as monitoring student progress. To that end, special educators and service providers participate in weekly or biweekly special education site team meetings. They also participate in regular grade level and departmental professional learning communities or PLCs. Some of the early release Thursdays that I spoke of earlier are designated for site-based staff development and planning session in which general education and special education personnel collaborate. And also something unique to our district is that we utilize a facilitated IEP protocol structure with all the 5 required members of the IEP team meetings in attendance, lending their knowledge and understanding of that individual child's unique needs so that they are able to collaboratively develop each student's individualized education program with input from every member of the team. Collaboration is fostered and practiced at all levels within the Isaac School District in order to ensure all our students' highest success. Currently, these are the available positions that we have within our Student Services Department, and we invite you to apply on our website, the www.isaacschools.org, or schedule a one-on-one session with us later. And then if you have any additional questions during the Q&A session following this presentation. So I will then hand the presentation back over to Tanya.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So I know Lisa just went over the positions that we have available for our Student Services Department. Right now, I've also posted a screen for you all to see the positions that we have for the upcoming school year. So you can see that we are hiring for various positions. Another area that I'd like to point out to some of you that might not be graduating quite yet, but entering your senior year in the educational program, you can certainly work with your university to do your student teaching within our district. If that is something that they would assist you with, we certainly elicit those that would like to join us for their student teaching, especially if you have family here and you're just wanting to try it out, or maybe you are currently attending college out of state and wanting to come back home, if any of you are already current Venetians. But I wanted to make sure I put that in there as well, if that's something that is of interest to some of you. I also wanted to take an opportunity to just share with all of you a little bit about my journey coming into the Isaac School District. As I shared, I have worked in a couple of other districts. I will also share with you that I'm relatively new to my role in human resources. I used to be a classroom teacher, a site administrator, and then made the journey over to human resources as I became very passionate about teacher retention in our schools after my doctoral work in millennial teacher retention. And so I just want to share that coming to the Isaac School District has been a very positive experience, and that I've had the supports that I've needed. One thing that really struck me as I entered coming to our district was that we provide a lot of different supports that surround our teachers, whether you're a classroom teacher, a middle school teacher, a SPED teacher. As Lisa also highlighted, those various supports that we have at our school sites specifically for our SPED students, but a lot of those supports also help our classroom teachers. And so that isn't something that I've seen a lot of other places that I've personally been in, but what I really enjoy is that there's the school level support with the academic coaches, your site leadership, those counselors and social workers that are there to assist you with some of the challenges that do come into our classrooms each day. So I know that those can take up a lot of time when you're trying to teach your students, and you need that extra assistant with those tier 2 and tier 3 kiddos that need those layers. The other area that again is I feel unique to our district is those strategists that do work at our district office that provide those specific professional development opportunities and the opportunities to come mentor you within the classroom and co-teach or model lessons for you. So again, those are some very unique areas that I feel have been helpful to our teachers. And again, just me being new and coming in, seeing how those have been very helpful to our teachers, especially those that are new to our district and our classroom. So you'll see here that if you're looking to build a sharp future in teaching, we definitely would enjoy talking to each of you further about the opportunities that we may have available to you in your specific areas of interest. I will share with you too that if you are interested in applying online, you can go to our website, and it's listed right down here at www.isaacschools.org. And if you click the Join Our Team at the upper right-hand side of the website, it'll take you to our job openings where it'll actually show you the checklist in which you'll need to have to complete the application. So you would just click the apply here. It'll take you to our outside link to get the application going. You'll notice that it says an Arizona teaching certificate. So that is something that obviously if you're out of state and you're looking to relocate, if you click on that link there, it'll show you the process. Arizona does take reciprocal teaching certificates. There is a process to that. If you've already taken your content tests and you're looking to convert those to an Arizona teaching certificate, we do allow reciprocal teaching certificates in our state. But again, you would just want to check that out, and we are here to assist if there's any challenges with that, or if you have questions about it, we can help you navigate that. But this kind of helps give you that checklist so that you initially know what you're going to need prior to submitting your application. So with that, Lisa and I are here for any questions or comments that you all may have in the audience. Again, it is nice to meet you all virtually, but we are here for any questions that you may have.
Great. Thank you so much. Great information that you shared today with us. And again, I'm just really thankful that you decided to join us specifically, especially now that we have the technology to invite employers that aren't just local but out of state and have great opportunities. So this has been a really fun exercise in that. And feel free to start typing in those questions, everyone. We'll go ahead and start the Q&A portion now. Right off the bat, is there any assistance with relocation?
Yes, so to answer your question, in the past we have had a relocation stipend. It's dependent on how far you're moving, but those are definitely things that we can entertain with candidates that we do hire. So that's a great question, John Paul. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that is something historically that we have been able to offer. And again, we can have those discussions with those that we do go through that process with.
Great, thank you, wonderful. I have a question here from one of our candidates that they have an adult basic ed credential, 18 years experience, former college dean, not bilingual. Is there an opportunity within your district?
Okay, so if I understand the question correctly, John Paul, the individual has a bachelor's degree not in education, but has a bachelor's degree. Is that what I understood? I cut out for a second.
Let's see here. Oh, for sure. They have a California adult basic ed credential.
Okay, so not a K-12 education, correct?
We would have to get clarification on that.
Okay.
So if you want to, Michael, if you want to go ahead and type that in the chat, we can follow up on this question.
Absolutely. And John Paul, I asked because there are different avenues that individuals can go if they have, if say like they didn't go what we would call the traditional route with a K-12 certification program at a university. You can work with getting a work, it's an intern to work program that different universities and colleges will offer, so that you can go back and get your teaching credentials. So there are different ways to go about that. So to answer the question, yes, there are opportunities with those types of certifications, but I think this one's kind of unique that we would want to have a one-on-one with to understand exactly what program that individual has been in and what their credentials are.
Great, thank you very much. And yeah, that's a good prompt to everyone in the session here. There is an opportunity to speak one-on-one with our recruiters. So you can go ahead and we'll have the contact information up again, or reach out to the Career Center here and we'll put you in contact for a one-on-one. You may have addressed this during the presentation, but how are you using virtual technology, or do you have virtual opportunities currently?
Great question. So yes, we do have technology integrated within our district. We're about a 2-to-1, so two students per device. Middle schools obviously functioning a little bit more differently with the accessibility to that, but we do have integrated technology. We are utilizing that in our district with various online programs. certainly with the times that we are in, we have upped that platform because, you know, as most of you all know, most schools have gone towards a digital platform to still provide those learning opportunities for students. So absolutely is something that we are definitely dedicated to, striving to always gain additional knowledge and resources to our students in that area. But I would say that yes, we are a technology-driven district, and we each year are increasing the accessibility to our students in that area.
Wonderful. We have a question here from Jessica Ramos. Are there any job opportunities for students who are in the credential process, such as substituting?
Yes, so we do definitely have substitutes within our district. What they do is they apply with a third party, an outside agency called ESI, where you actually work for ESI and you substitute through them, or excuse me, you apply through them and you work for ESI, but you can be exclusive to the Isaac School District and still work for us. Now, again, that she could certainly reach out to me about some specific programs if she's wanting to look outside of substituting and wanting to work towards a teaching credential. We can talk to candidates one-on-one about those types of various opportunities. But for subs, we are always looking for guest teachers into our schools, and we utilize ESI, which is on our website. The link is there to register with them if that is something that is of interest.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What is the current time frame from job application to employment?
So our first day of school is August 3rd, and new teachers will report back, I believe it's July 22nd. Lisa looks like she's going to get that exact date for us, but we do start early in August. So obviously we are wanting to fill our positions very quickly here because we are rounding out entering June. So I can't give you an exact timeline on the turnaround, but the first step is putting your application in. And those that are joining us today, if you do put your application in, when we put up our contact information, please make sure that you know that you can email me directly that you participated in the fair, just so that I know that you have put your application there. So that would be the first step, John Paul, is making sure that your application's in. And then from there, we would go through the interview process. So it looks like here that our new teachers are going to be reporting back actually July 20th, where they have an introduction program and an opportunity to become familiar with our district and our various programs. All teachers that are already in our district would come back July 27th, with the first day of school August 3rd. So again, I know it's crazy to think that it's the middle of July returning back, but that is our schedule. We are looking to fill our positions pretty quickly and go through that process.
Great, thank you. Anything for future counselors? We have a candidate that is currently in a master's program for school counseling.
Yes, for sure. We do have counseling positions, and as I stated, that we have counselors at every school site. I believe that currently we do have available a school counselor position right now. And so definitely we would invite that individual to apply for a counseling position. And then we also have supports for all of our counselors through, we have the prevention coordinator as well as the social emotional specialist who work very closely with the counselors. And we also have a lead district counselor who also provides support. So definitely, yes, we would invite that individual to apply on our website for the counseling position.
Great, thank you. Does your district have any remote teaching opportunities?
So right now, temporarily, as we completed the fourth quarter, yes, there was remote teaching opportunities, but going into the next school year, we do not know what that looks like at this time. So what I would advise in answer to that question is that we are a traditional teaching classroom district, meaning that teachers come to the school site and they teach their students, within the classroom setting. However, in these times that we're in, it's not it wouldn't be unlikely that we may have to hybrid or do a blended learning, remote learning at some point. But I wouldn't want to advise an individual thinking they're going to be doing full-time remote coming here, because that's not really our platform. It's just more of a temporary situation through the pandemic. So I'm going to answer that with yes and no, probably more no, just because that's not our typical platform. But right now, the answer would be yes, because that's what we're having to utilize.
Great. That's a good segue to another question that we had previously about what your school district is doing now currently to support students during this pandemic, and also if you have any information of how they're preparing to safely take back students to the on-campus sessions.
Great questions. Absolutely. So right now, well, like I mentioned, we rounded out fourth quarter at a digital platform, providing those learning opportunities for our students. Right now, we are entering a digital platform for summer school to help those students that may need those additional resources throughout the summer, so that we don't get any of those learning gaps that sometimes can occur during the summer months. And as we're entering in the school year, we are currently in the planning process and looking at various models, from blended learning to fully online learning to in-person learning. And so again, I wouldn't be able to share the exact plan, just because that is something that is evolving with the data that we receive from the state level, and that as we are in that planning phase and getting guidance from our state superintendent of instruction and learning. So we are in the planning phases of those coming up for the school year. And again, looking at various ways to ensure that we have a safe environment for our teachers and our students, because that is the top priority as we're navigating through this pandemic.
And specific to our internet platform, we are a Google district, and so teachers were using Google Classroom as well as Google Meets for the virtual classes that they were holding, and for the remote learning that has been done this fourth quarter. And so we do utilize all Google. We're an all Google district. So we utilize, like I said, Google Classroom, Google Meets, Google Calendar, everything Google.
Thank you, Lisa, for sharing that, because that is important. And we did have quite a few teachers that were able to host those live classes during the day utilizing Google Meets. And it was pretty cool to see that teachers would get about a 90% attendance rate in those classes, which was really, really encouraging, that students were pumped to want to join their teachers during the day, and for our teachers to provide those opportunities for their students.
Wonderful. Are bilingual teacher applicants preferred?
I don't know if I can share that they would necessarily be preferred, but however, we do have a strong bilingual community. And so just like everyone else, we're an equal employer. So applicants can put their applications in, and depending on the different environment in which we're looking for a candidate, that could factor in. But I wouldn't say that we can say there's a preference, but I would say that those are definitely candidates that are helpful as they are communicating with our families in the school. So we are a fully English only instruction, so we don't currently provide instruction bilingually, or so we do utilize that as our main focus as per state expectations. So but that's a really good question. I would say it's helpful for candidates to be able to communicate with our families. So great question. I definitely think it is a helpful quality to have.
Great. How can one stand out in an interview?
Well, John Paul, as you know, a lot of us are evolving to the online platform. I mean, I'll admit, even myself, this is very new to me. And usually I'm used to interacting with individuals in person, which is my strength. And so for candidates to stick out now, it's even more critical, especially digitally, because they don't get that opportunity to maybe have that face-to-face interview or that opportunity to meet one-on-one. So what I would say for to ensure that their resumes are current and that those highlight their strengths and what that they can offer the employer, making sure that you research the best practices for interviewing remotely, because a lot of interviews are happening that way through Zoom or Google Hangouts. And so I would encourage those that are looking to get employed to make sure that they've checked their technology. Like this morning we had a few technical glitches, and making sure that their backgrounds are appropriate for an interview, looking at how you can make yourself stand out in that digital platform, because it is so different now than what we are used to with that face-to-face opportunity. Just being creative again with your resume, making sure that's current, and tailoring it into the community in which you want to serve. Again, I would say for us, or any, I guess, advice to any of you that are looking to become teachers, making sure that you connect with the school district and the school in which you're applying for, because every place is a little unique, and that's why we want to make sure that we share what makes our district very unique to our community and our students and our families, because we want to make sure that everybody knows what makes us proud to be here, and we want to hire those that are passionate about servicing those kinds of kiddos that we have in our families. So John Paul, I would say just making sure that they take all of the things that we just discussed into consideration as they're preparing for that moment to sell themselves.
That's great advice that you just gave. I mean, we all understand that during this time, we're utilizing technology that we haven't used on a regular basis, and the more that you can become familiar with it, comfortable, that's the added advantage you're going to have on these interactive interviews that you'll probably be going on. So any little edge that you can get, whether it's updating your LinkedIn to joining webinars, having professional background, professional presence, I would definitely take advantage of. So thank you. That was a great insight.
And I would even
we have time for a few.
Okay. Yeah.
No, please.
Sorry, John Paul. No, one thing I was thinking too that I would recommend to candidates is even just practice a virtual interview, maybe with a friend, maybe record it. I know we were doing an interview with a candidate who the volume on her end was low, so she couldn't hear very well, so she put her ear very close to the screen. That made the rest of the interview really uncomfortable, and I'm sure she had no idea that she was doing it. So I would really recommend that as a potential candidate is that you practice a virtual interview with a friend, maybe record it or get feedback from your friend as well.
Great. Thank you.
And John Paul, I wanted to also point out, I have our Instagram and Facebook accounts up there as well. And I encourage candidates, if they want to see some additional pictures or just get a feel for our district and our community, to definitely check those out, follow us, and just kind of get a feel. We do have our communications department that does frequent uploads on there, even just how we've been able to conduct promotional ceremonies for our students during these times. And so it just kind of highlights the different programs that we've had going on throughout the year. So that's another good way to become familiar with our district. And that's another advice I'd give, is no matter what district you're applying for, make sure that you are familiar with their website and what their beliefs are and what they stand for. So then that way you can find a good fit for you, because the interview is a two-way street. We're interviewing you just as much as you're interviewing us. So I always want to stress that, because you want to find a spot that you can call your second home.
Great, thank you. We have a question here about internships. Are there any internships available?
Yes, I would like to, I guess I would like to know what specific internship opportunity the individual is looking for, but we do have student teaching opportunities that are available that we can always pair you up with a master teacher. And that's always a great way to get your foot into a district, is to have that opportunity. School psychologists, counselors, all student services also definitely opens the door to student teachers coming in and interns. So depending on what the position is, absolutely that is something that we can discuss with candidates. And as Lisa has mentioned, in student services, there and even in our other classrooms, general education rooms, again, a great way to get your foot in the door. Sometimes you can get hired on if you've performed well during that internship or student teaching opportunity to land a job for the next school year.
Great, thank you. And I know we spoke about using technology. Were you using virtual classroom currently, or were you in session?
So what we had, as Lisa stated, we have the Google platform, and a lot of teachers, all of our teachers, utilize that as a way to provide learning opportunities to our students. And so they used that platform to ensure that students had access to opportunities to learn. We did have also an alternative if they needed to get packets from the school in our community, although we provided the devices to students to take home. For some, that was still a hardship in our community. And so we did ensure that we had packets available for those that needed the alternative route. But yes, to answer the question about school opportunity, we did provide learning opportunities for students during the pandemic and the school closure.
And yeah, Google Classroom is used throughout the district. Most of the teachers use Google Classroom as a platform for assignments and for that of individual feedback back and forth to students.